Here is part 2 on my revival of my 1983 Ford Ltd Crownvictoria. I've done a lot of work since the last video. Now we have it hooked to my 88 Ford Festiva, and we're going to attempt to drive 400 miles to Minnesota. Pop the hood, and I'll show you what we've done so far. Went ahead and installed a new aluminum radiator, still ignoring the old belt, and we installed a manual oil pressure gauge and a temperature gauge, and we basically had to clean the oil pan because the pickup tube and screen were completely clogged up. That was all sitting within a 1/4 inch of gunk on the entire bottom of the pan, and we put a high volume oil pump in it. Now, here's the results. Because it literally did not have any oil pressure, how it was. Now I think we'll have a good drive up there. We just have to get to the freeway first, which is another 20 miles, and then it's all a straight shot. So, without further ado, here we go. Okay, we've just gotten on the freeway. So far, no issues. We're doing good. Everything's doing really good. I only see a leak from my gas tank, which is because of the filler hose. So far, so good. Let's hope we can keep this speed up. I mean, at least 60, 65 would be nice. I'm going to keep it in overdrive for now, unless it seems that it's working too hard. We still have really good oil pressure. Still holding good temperature. You can't see it, but that's about 185. It's not focusing. But yeah, here we go. Another 360 miles or so. We've put on 40 so far today, just getting to the freeway. And now it's basically a straight, smooth shot. So, here we go. Wow, coming up on the Iowa border, we have done about 120 miles so far. It has been running and driving great. Been holding great oil pressure, great temperature. I did a lot of work to it since the last episode. Yeah, the pan was completely plugged up with gunk. The pickup tube screen was just packed. I did find some metal in the oil due to no oil pressure. I was thinking maybe it might need a new engine. We'll find out in another 20 or 30,000 miles, see what it does. Because right now it's looking good, but the metal that came out was not good at all. Now, here's the Iowa border. Let's see, what else did I do? We have brand new high volume pump, oil pan gasket, of course, brand new pickup tube assembly, and then quite a few other things like that radiator, and I topped off the transmission. I've all new antifreeze, bled the brakes all the way around, replaced the front rubber brake lines, changed the gear oil on the rear end, new gasket for the rear end, cleaned out the axle vent. But yeah, I replaced the front rubber lines because last time I drove it, whenever I would touch the brakes, it would pull hard left or else it would pull hard right. And then looking at the lines, whenever you look at them, you can see how they are cracked and they were bulging and they were pretty much getting ready to blow out. So that's a good thing that I went ahead and replaced those. But yeah, now it's stopping like a brand new car. And I think some of that is also to help with the brand new gear, or not gear oil, but brake fluid, and being bled all the way around. Yeah, let's see if it'll make it another, 300 miles? Something like that. So, just gonna keep on trucking. Alright, just filled up. Looks like we're getting about 14 to 15 miles to the gallon doing this, which is pretty good. We are just now getting back on the freeway. I believe we are south of Osceola, Iowa, and we still have quite a ways to go. We'll see what our mileage is next time I fill up. We're going to go ahead and subtract like 2 gallons from whatever it takes because we are actively leaking out gas because the filler tube is cracked or something. Yeah, just going to enjoy the sights for now. again for the second time today. That tank got 12 miles to the gallon. That was over 170 miles. We were going about 65 to about 72 miles an hour. Now, being that it's dark, I wanted to reconnect the Festiva's battery and run the running lights and disconnect the coil. But since it's gotten cold, the hood latch has frozen and I cannot get it to open. So that's good. We have another 70 or 80 miles to go yet. But so far so good. Good temperature, good oil pressure, and no issues yet. We are a few miles south of the Minnesota border.